welcome to yet another episode of It's Always Stockholm in Los Angeles. My name is Nate Harold. I'm here with William Noon.
I'm Nate Harold, and he is Will Noon.
Today we are talking about Season 6, Episode 6 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Mac's mom burns her house down. Written by Scott Martyr and Rob Russell, directed by Matt Shackman.
Were you hoping there was another 6 to drop in there?
Yeah, I thought about it for, I did as much math as I can possibly do, and I let myself down. 6?
What is the 6th?
Wait, let me see what this 16 is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's when Charlie and Mac are observing Bonnie and Mrs. Mac.
That is a weird scene. They're just sitting in chairs next to each other, facing
them. Yeah. If they had a cheesecake, they'd be having all kinds of conversations.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you and I were in a room with a perfectly good cheesecake, all sorts of conversation would start happening.
Oh my God, okay, suspended disbelief, I get it, but I could not suspend my disbelief that long. Charlie would never leave a cheesecake sitting on the table.
Okay, that brings up a good question. Is cheesecake cheese? No, it's not, right?
Yeah, it's made with a shit ton of cream cheese.
Is it? I don't know. Okay, Charlie doesn't know what cottage cheese is. I don't think it's crazy to think that he wouldn't know what cream cheese is.
But he likes cottage cheese once he tastes it.
And I guess it is from Philadelphia.
A savory dip that gets its special creamy rich goodness from Philadelphia brand Kraft's famous fresh-tasting cream cheese. First, we're going to cream this 8-ounce package till it's nice and smooth.
Okay, anyways, this is a wonderful opening scene, wouldn't you say, Will?
Yes, I do. I like the cold open because knowing that this episode is about Mac's mom. Yeah. I expected it to be Mac's mom.
Fair.
Because you just hear snorting and phlegm, collecting.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fake out.
Yeah, but it's D. Who knew?
D. She's got a tickle.
I got a tickle, a really bad one.
The way that she says that is adorable.
Yeah, and this gave me a little bit of coronavirus vibes or quarantine vibes.
Oh, yeah. I recently had a bad tickle, last month, in fact.
Did you see the South Park coronavirus special?
No.
Oh, it's pretty amazing. Cartman leaves his house and he grabs this stick, and it's like a 2 meter or whatever, like a 2 yard. It's a 6 foot long stick, and he just walks around and pushes people away from him. And he's like 6 feet, and it's pretty amazing. And that's how I felt for much of quarantine and going to the store. I'm like, why are you standing so close to me?
There's another person that felt the same, and his name is Frank Reynolds.
Exactly.
Don't come near me. You don't make me sick.
All right, don't touch me.
Don't make me sick. Get
stop
out.
it.
So when Frank Reynolds pushes D away with a pool cue, I was like, whoa, that's exactly like Cartman. And how I wish I could act sometimes. It would have been fun and funny. I think it actually would have been well received a year ago.
Yeah, maybe not so much anymore, and people are just
at this
sick
point,
of it.
I think everyone's kind of sick of it.
Yeah. Anyways, so the high point, I think anyone would agree with this in the opening scene, is the Josh Groban, Charles Grodin misunderstanding.
Josh Groban, Artemis and I got backstage passes to his concert in the park tomorrow.
Charles Grodin is coming in concert, and you didn't tell us? Aw, we love Charles Grodin. That dude is hysterical. I love that guy.
Two very different people.
Yes. And
in a lot of ways.
Charles Grodin at one point might have been a stand-up, and that's what they were referring to, but
he probably did stand-up,
I don't
right? No?
I didn't see any references to stand-up. Not to say that he didn't, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, I guess I could have gone either way with it. It wouldn't be unbelievable to me that he started out as a stand-up, because he's in all these, he's the curmudgeonly father in, what is
every movie?
Beethoven and what's the other one?
Most importantly, I would say Clifford.
He was Clifford too?
I believe so. He plays the same exact character in the same exact situation in kind of the same movies.
Whatever works, man.
I mean, it was working from the mid-'80s to the early 90s. He was just all over it.
I think I talked about it on an episode of this podcast. We were talking earlier how we were like, why were we talking about Charles Grodin? on this. But when I was visiting my family in Montana, and we stumbled across the set of Beethoven's Second.
Oh.
And
Wow.
I met one of the Beethovens. I think there was like 5 of them.
You met one of the dogs?
Yeah, there's a picture of me and my grandmother and my cousins somewhere. Someone in my family has this picture.
How
of
was
me.
that possible?
They were filming it in like the Glacier National Park area, and that's where my family lives. And we were visiting. I think we were.
Oh, in Whitefish?
Yeah, close to Whitefish. Exactly.
Kalispell?
Yeah, closer to Kalispell. But they, they film like a bunch of stuff up there. Or they used to. I don't know if they still do. But
my question was more in referring to, was this a long time ago?
yeah, I was like 9 years old.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, how old is this dog? Last time, like, I don't know. I thought you were like, when I was visiting my family 2 years ago.
No, I think I said
I
the
was like,
set.
Man, this must be a 30-year-old dog.
I'm pretty sure I said the set.
Stumbled across the set of Beethoven's Second.
Sorry. I thought you just were in the place where it was filmed, not actively while it was being filmed.
Yeah, it was actively while it was being filmed.
What? Oh, that's crazy.
I don't remember the exact situation, but I do know that it was like, there's a lot of cars parked here, and I see bright lights. Like, what's happening over here?
So
And
you were like this close to being in Beethoven Part 2.
I wouldn't go that far. I
would.
But the trainer was very nice, and one of the Beethovens was out walking around, and we got to take a picture with it.
That's amazing. Can you send that to me?
I can't. I think. Okay, maybe I tweeted about it. Maybe that's why it came up before. So maybe I haven't talked about it on this podcast. But anyways, I asked my mom if she remembered this photo, and she said that she vaguely remembered like this happening. Didn't remember the photo. Couldn't find it. Mm-hmm. Asked my like aunt and uncle. They couldn't find it either. But they all kind of like vaguely remember this happening.
Okay. So they can corroborate your story, but they cannot prove that it happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know whether... I know in the photo I was wearing my brand new Shaquille O'Neal t-shirt.
Okay.
That I was super pumped about.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Anyways, that's as close as I've been to Charles Grodin or Josh Groban. Did you know that a few years after this episode, Josh Groban and Glenn Howerton were in a film together?
I saw that on the internet.
It's called Coffee
anything
Town,
about it?
and it fucking sucked. It was on Netflix maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, and I watched the first 15 minutes, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't. I mean, it's got like a lot of things going for it. It's got Stevie Janowski from Eastbound and Down.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so I can have the EQ optimized for what you want to do. I just need to know, are you going to be singing?
I'm not gonna be fucking singing, Stevie, all right?
Okay, is there anything special you want me to name the file?
Yeah, name the file, press record now before I smash your fucking face in.
Okay, and we're rolling.
It's got Dennis, but it was just
So you're saying it's got some things going against it as well?
Well, it was a terrible movie.
Well, sure.
So, yes, it had that going against it.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but
I think
not surprised?
If you're listening to this, or if you're Will Noon, if you just watch the trailer, you will see what I'm talking about. Because I watched the trailer in preparation for this, and it reminded me of the issues with this film.
Right. So it wasn't shocking.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't really recommend it. You probably can't even like see it anymore. It's probably been erased from the internet.
Yeah. So this opening scene, to get back to it, Dee starts to feel like she's getting sick, but she's got a Charles Groban concert coming up. She did not want to be sick for it, so she has to rest, get some, get healthy. And then Charlie, what has he got? His mom is annoying him because she's crazy OCD or something.
Yeah, she's being OCD. She's being racist. She won't stop calling him, etc.
Paranoid. She's maybe a hypochondriac because she wants to clean the ceilings. She wants to vacuum the ceilings at one point.
Help me with that. Wash the floor, wash the ceiling, clean my car. Get this, fix that. Are there spiders here? Are there spiders there?
And then she's worried about plastic splinters. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then that's when he gets the call. I forget how he precedes it or prefaces it, but he's like, this is probably some inane, dumb, stupid stuff that my mom's worried about for no reason.
Right.
And then when he gets on the phone, my favorite line of this opening scene is,
Oh, well, that is a serious thing.
It's
Yeah,
so
the
weird.
Charlie switches gears really fast.
But it's just a weird phrase for him to say. That is a serious thing.
It's not a very Charlie thing for him to say, is what you're telling me.
I don't know. If someone called you and told you they burned their house down, would you say, "Oh, that is a serious thing"?
Well, since it was not her that burned her house down, I don't know. I think there's some breathing room with this.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
Before we wrap this scene up, I would like to point out two things.
Okay, let's hear it.
When Dennis reminds Frank that he just chased out his daughter with a pool cue after expressing concern that maybe no one's going to take care of him.
Right.
There's some top shelf Danny DeVito acting. Just a face. I can't put in the clip because it's just his face, but he is faced with reality.
Right. He has like a
no pun
regret.
intended.
Oh, I get Deandra to take care of me. She'll take care of me.
Dee's not going to take care of you. You just chased her out of here with a pool cue because she had a little cough. Forget about it.
Yeah, regret, anxiety, concern.
Yeah.
And also, right before we find out that Mac's mom burned her house down, Mac is chastising Charlie for the way that he's treating his mother. So, like, he's before it even happens, he's committed himself.
I'm sorry. The woman who brought you into the world and raised you needs you, and you're going to ignore her?
Now Mac has to be the good son, even though he probably was anyways. But I feel like the like societal pressure is now on him.
Actually, I guess I didn't give it enough credit, but this scene really does set up every single storyline.
Yeah.
It sets up Dee wanting to get better.
Fast.
It sets up Frank being concerned about being taken care of in his old age. It, like you're saying now, it sets up Mac as the devoted son, which
I mean,
I think that's in character.
I think it is too. But I'm just saying that he's locked into it.
Right. And it's that's juxtaposed with Charlie, who's just sick and annoyed and whatever by his mother, who normally we see her as being the sweetest, most devoted, affectionate mother.
The alliances in this episode, William.
Yes.
It's fairly unique in on the Reynolds side.
Right.
Because
not so much with Dee being the one who's being shit on.
Right.
But more so with Frank and Dennis being aligned.
And Frank being thoroughly impressed by Dennis's behavior and ideas.
Because in this situation, Dennis gets to be creepy and manipulative, and that's his wheelhouse.
Dennis is the Harvey Keitel of Pulp Fiction in this episode. He's the fixer.
Self-proclaimed.
I'm Winston Wolfe. I solve problems.
Good, we got one.
So I heard. May I come in?
Yeah, please do.
And then we, again, have Mac and Charlie for the third episode in a row.
Right. Just going back to Dennis as a fixer, I think he's just more of a creepy, manipulative person. Because the second time he claims to be a fixer, I believe it's in regards to Poppins, who they think is dead.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think he says, I'll take care of this. I got this.
I'm the fixer, yeah.
Fixer's always got to fix, right?
Yeah, what
this is going to work. This is a good idea. Grab Poppins. Let's go. Come on.
Take the dog?
Grab the dog.
And then they cut to him throwing it in the garbage can.
Yeah. I think it's important that you pointed out that it is the self-proclaimed Harvey Keitel of Pulp Fiction of Always Sunny. In general, this episode is a great display of the talents of both Sandy Martin.
Where is she going to be staying? Here, of course.
I'll stay in a shelter.
Hey, there's an idea. Shelter. Absolutely not.
And Lynn Marie Stewart.
Please don't hit me. I have sensitive skin.
It's great that Mrs. Mack is like the way that the makeup department did her look is very funny. It's like cartoonish to me. Like she's covered in like soot when she comes in.
Oh yeah, she looks like a 12-year-old British chimney sweep.
Chimney sweep, yeah. Or like in a cartoon when somebody shoots a shotgun and it's like,
and someone sticks their finger in the barrel.
Right.
Faced with certain death, he plugs the barrel. And the hunter's plans literally backfire.
That's great. And then also the fact that she just takes the remote from Dennis immediately. Introduced to Poppins. This is Poppins' first appearance.
Yeah, that dog is nasty, man. I mean, he was like coughing the whole way over here. He ate a couple cigarette butts off the ground. He's got a wheeze. He might have emphysema, man.
Yeah, everyone is surprised that Poppins is still alive. Now, how old do you think Poppins is at this point?
Let's see. So they said that they got him when Mac was 10.
Mm-hmm.
So Poppins is over 20 years old.
At this point, we think Mac is like 32?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay. So 20 and dog years are 7 we're looking at?
Right.
Right.
We're getting up there.
So Poppins is theoretically about 150 years old.
Yeah. That dog is indestructible.
Oh, yeah. This dog is indestructible, dude.
He's a survivor. Yeah. Love Poppins. There's really no end to the little, like, silly, goofy things you can say about him.
Dog looks like a gargoyle.
Yeah, he smells like piss.
Yeah. Apparently the eyeball thing is something that really happens with some dogs. Pugs was the example that I was reading about. Where like the membrane, like for dogs that have like buggy eyes, like
right.
As they get older, like the membranes get thinner and thinner, and like sometimes that happens.
Did they say that you can just pop it in yourself?
Right. The knuckle part, I don't know. That might be some artistic
license
on that one.
Okay, quick question. I didn't realize it until later in the episode, but do you think they use the word pop a lot in this episode?
Pop it back in. Poppins. Hang on, let me think. Don't say it. I don't know what the other pops are.
Well, I mean, what do you know about Josh Groden?
Oh, he likes his ladies to pop. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, tan's gonna make the white in the outfit pop. The white's gonna make the tan pop. Josh Groban likes his ladies to pop, so.
And then Dennis walks in with Poppins, and it's like,
Hey, look who I brought. It's Poppins.
They just won't stop saying the word pop.
Wow, that's crazy. Do you think that's intentional?
I don't know. In that episode that we were just talking about, it's like he comes in with Poppins. He's like, man, that's Poppins? I can't believe Poppins is still alive. Oh, if his eye comes out, just pop it back in. Yeah, it just popped out. It popped out again. Don't worry, I'll just pop it. It's like, they say pop like 400 times.
Like, was there like money put down on like, okay, do you think we can say the word pop 37 times in this episode?
Right.
I'll give you $10,000.
20 times. I'll give you $100.
Yeah. The D line specifically, I remember
she says it 3 times.
Right, because I was the last time I was watching this, I was kind of like, cleaning up the house, and I just heard that line, and I was like, huh. She said the word pop a lot.
Yeah, she says it. She says the word 3 times, and then Dennis walks in with Poppins and starts talking about Poppins.
Wild. Dennis's antisocial behavior comes to save the day in this, where he's like, he doesn't want Mrs. Mack, obviously, to live with them.
Yeah.
She wants to go to a shelter, which he's fine with.
Mac is not. Mac, as the good son, doesn't want that.
There's a wonderful Mac line that this situation comes up a couple other times where he says,
Nursing home? Do you have any idea what happens in those places, dude? Why don't I just rape her myself? Rape her? What are you talking about? What?
Assisted living retirement home thing. Like, there's some pretty crazy misconceptions about it in this gang. And they all seem to have it.
In this episode, Frank repeats it later on, which is fun. But he specifically says he got it from Mac.
That's what happens. Mac told me.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so Dennis is like, whatever you want to call it. I called it antisocial before, but like whatever you want to call his issue with having someone and a dog come into his apartment leads to him trying to solve both Mac and Charlie's issues. Well, more so his and Charlie's issues.
The gang tends to like rolling 2 things together sometimes,
Totally.
Maybe it's time to merge the 2 ideas after all.
Baby in the house?
Baby in the house.
And we get our first Golden Girls reference and our first reference to eating cheesecake. Now, I don't remember Golden Girls super well. Apparently there was a lot of cheesecake.
Thing? Yeah.
I don't know. I guess.
I mean,
I'll take their word for it. They're like TV guys,
Wait a minute. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. I know it's awful, but I have this incredible sweet tooth.
What is it?
Cheesecake. What kind? Chocolate.
Oh, I think this could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
And it does seem like an old lady thing. Like, I mean, okay, in the past, let's say 20 years, when you've gone to your friends' houses and like someone brings dessert. I went to a football thing for the Super Bowl, outside. There wasn't a cheesecake. There were like cookies and there were brownies and there were snacks and there was, the grill was going. There wasn't a cheesecake. I don't think I've ever been to an event of people my age and had cheesecake.
So you're saying down the road you might be looking at more cheesecake?
I think it might appeal to an older crowd, or it might be a time and place. Like it might have been more popular in the 80s and 90s. I don't know.
In Florida.
Maybe that's when it peaked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. Where does Golden Girls take place?
In Florida.
Oh, okay. Also, I think New York is a big cheesecake place.
Right.
And
that sounds
Florida
right.
has a lot of old New York people.
That's true. That's true.
They call it Heaven's Waiting Room.
When Frank becomes panicked and decides that he's going to take care of Dee for the probably first time in his life,
right?
He brings over a care package.
Yes, I want to talk about the care package.
Let's go.
What do you have to say about the care package?
Well, it kind of reminded me, it was slightly different, but when I was in elementary school, there was a chicken pox epidemic in my school. And apparently my parents weren't sure if maybe I had it as an infant. Like maybe I was infected then and it wasn't that bad. So I was immune, but it wasn't confirmed. So I got to stay home for like a week. And since my parents are both teachers, they had to work.
Right.
So my parents gave me a bit of a care package. I didn't have a stud magazine, but I did have comic books.
Okay. Which, to be fair, comic books usually feature like very physically fit men in very skimpy clothing.
Absolutely.
So,
kind
of a stud magazine.
I know I had candy in this care package.
Mm-hmm.
I got to play Super Mario Brothers 2. It was like one of the greatest weeks of my life.
I loved Super Mario Brothers 2. It's the only Super Mario Brothers that I've ever won.
It's a really weird one. It stands alone.
Yeah.
In the franchise.
Oh yeah, the Flying Princess. Hell yeah, love that.
Anyways, it reminded me of that.
But
what
no
were you
coffee.
gonna say? No coffee. No Mexican.
Okay,
dance.
so I want you to close your eyes. I want you to think back to that care package that you got during the greatest week of your entire little tiny, frail, weak boy life.
Yeah.
Was it in a paper bag?
Yeah, I think there was a paper bag involved.
Could you roll the edges of this paper bag down?
Yeah.
What happened to paper bags that you could roll? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I don't know, because they all have handles now, right?
Okay, even if it didn't have handles, you couldn't roll a paper bag like that.
That's a different... Okay, so apparently that type of paper is environmentally unfriendly, right? It's got to be.
I don't know.
It's got to be. Maybe it's like a thicker stock.
Maybe. I don't know. It's got to be like waxed or something.
Right. Something about it is...
There's something going on because
now.
I could not go to get a normal ass paper bag that's like folded up and roll it. Like a school lunch. I could roll that. You can like I think I would twist the top of it,
Right.
That was a classic, make a little like a pumpkin handle vibe.
Yeah, pumpkin handle, yeah.
You know what I mean? But you can't do that with a grocery bag.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to do some research for the next episode and figure out what in the paper bag manufacturing has changed from the 1980s.
I just thought it was crazy. I just saw that bag roll down and I was like, this seems like a movie prop or something. It's not a real object.
It is a prop. Moving on to the summit
yes.
at Bonnie Kelly's house. Briefly, I would just like to talk about the work of Lynn Marie Stewart, who we have seen several times on the series thus far. She's great. She's Charlie's mom. I think I've mentioned it before, but she was a fairly major player in the Pee-wee universe.
Yes.
And I shared some videos with you earlier today of her screen time. There's a live performance of Pee-wee's. I guess it was called Pee-wee's Playhouse. Maybe live. Maybe it wasn't.
I think I just did a quick read, but I think it may have started as like a stage show that was like not for children.
Yeah, that makes sense based on the clip of her with the lipstick.
Oh, yeah, Captain Carl gave it to me.
Oh, Captain Carl. Was the captain here today?
Yeah, but he had to go. He had a
Yeah,
date.
it was more like a weird fake children's show that was for adults, and it was probably in that improv world, at which she was a groundling member, as that keeps coming back up.
There we go.
With, I think, Paul Rubin and I forget who else. Who was it? Maybe like Phil Hartman or somebody SNL vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it started as that, and then it got picked up as an actual children's show, and they kept some of the weirdness.
Oh, it's very weird.
Yeah, I guess they kept a lot of the weirdness, but I think they took out some of like the darker. Well, there's still some pretty dark stuff.
Yeah, it's sanitized to an extent. Len Marie Stewart played a character called Miss Yvonne.
Miss Yvonne,
and she's great,
prettiest girl in the world.
And yeah, maybe if you're listening to this, maybe just go YouTube some clips. It's funny to see her because it seems like it wasn't that long ago. But then when you watch this episode and then you go back and look at Pee-wee's Playhouse from 1980, whatever.
Yeah, it was like
you realize it's a long
35 years is a long time.
Yeah, but yeah, she is really great. There's a clip called "The Greatness of Miss Yvonne," and it's just her dancing, and she's a great dancer.
She's a great dancer. I didn't love that clip, to be honest.
I'm saying that's cool in the sense that this was a children's show on some major network, and it's just her dancing for like a minute and a half.
Yeah. It is a pretty grand entrance.
Lawrence Fishburne was Cowboy Curtis, who I think dated Miss Yvonne on the show, or and maybe it was just like one episode or something. But
yeah,
I think they had a thing.
Have been the love interest.
Yeah.
By the way, Cowboy Curtis, whatever did happen on that date with Miss Yvonne?
Gee, Pee-wee, I guess I don't remember.
Man, I used to actually really like that show.
I went as Pee-wee for multiple Halloweens.
Dude, so did I.
There we go. It's all coming together.
I think I got nervous about it.
Oh, I got called so many times.
Yeah. I feel like I was like really like weird about it because also I don't think I did a great job. I think I just had like a gray suit and like I think my mom might have put some makeup on me to make me pale.
Some blush maybe.
And then I was like, I don't
lipstick.
Like this.
Yeah. Definitely
got
to
a
have
good
a
idea,
lipstick.
but yeah.
Anyways, Lynn Marie Stewart is an amazing actor, and she's in a lot of great stuff.
She just has, some simple rules and desires. She just doesn't want her face bitten off.
I don't want a dog to eat my face, Charlie.
Totally understandable. I'm wondering did Uncle Jack maybe have like an orangutan or something? Like, is that where that comes from?
Are we going for a Michael Jackson vibe? Is that what's happening?
I'm just thinking of animals that are known for biting faces off. And the first thing that comes to mind is like a monkey of some kind. An ape.
I see no reason. There was no indication that I've seen. Okay.
Just a thought I had. Just curious.
Yeah, maybe. From the summit, there's a lot of kind of, there's some slowness, but I really enjoy Mrs. Mack specifically when she calls Dennis out and says,
"Stop talking to me like I'm an asshole."
I think what Bonnie is trying to say is that Mrs. Mack has a unique and earthy aroma.
I smell like shit.
That part is great with her being fed up with Dennis sanitizing the whole thing, and then Mac becoming her interpreter.
He interprets both like, he gets mad when everyone says she smells, and then she admits that she smells, and then he starts interpreting her grunts.
I know that grunt. She's open to it.
There's a great line from Dee that I'm going to put in here that is when Frank is examining her freshly laundered clothing that he just washed.
I'm trying to bond with you.
That's how you want to bond with me? Asking me if I still get periods?
Yeah, it's a pretty weird scenario, but again, I think it just shows how fish out of water Frank feels.
Yeah, this is like brand new territory to him. He's taking care of his kids.
it sort of reminds me of the situation where, and maybe this is on purpose, but, in a movie or a TV show or whatever, when you want to show how an adult doesn't understand kids, they get thrust into the situation and then they have a baby and they're holding it weird and they're like,
right.
Oh, I don't know how a diaper works. And then they put a t-shirt on the baby or they duct tape something to them.
This sounds like Three Men and a Baby. Did you just see this recently?
Maybe those are all the images, but in that scenario, it's obviously this person doesn't have a child, Frank's he doesn't understand his grown adult children. He's like, I don't know, do you have a period anymore, or do you not have a period? I don't know how, in the sense of not knowing how children work, he doesn't know how adults work either.
Right. The whole thing with Dennis pawning Poppins off, which weirdly works. It's maybe a little hard to believe that D
would go for that.
Yeah. She's like,
wow. Yeah. Sounds great. Thanks for bringing him over.
He's a great dog.
I think even Dennis is surprised that it's going to work.
Yeah, he's a great dog. He's a great dog.
And then he lays over and she's like, oh, is he dead?
Yeah. And this is where the fixer, Harvey Keitel, Dennis, comes up with his grand scheme, which I understand what he's doing, but you can be pretty sure that it's not going to work in some sense.
Now, secondly, if this is going to work, then she's going to need to feel a little bit more than just a tickle in her throat. So if she's not feeling sick, well, then we're just going to have to make her feel sick.
It's a Misery vibe, right?
It's Misery. It's Phantom Thread. We talked about that sort of recently. Yeah,
they've done this before.
Yeah.
And it's not going to work. We know that. Actually, it's kind of funny. They end up bonding when Dennis is like, yo, stop trying to bond with me.
We should hang out more together.
Yeah, stop trying to bond with me.
And he's just trying to bond with D, but then it switches to manipulating D, which is actually bonding with Dennis.
That's a good point. This is where we learn some amazing Mrs. Mac lore, that she was the manager at Jiffy Lube.
Yeah, but she started at the bottom, worked her way to the tippy top.
All right, well, there's only 3 people working at Jiffy Lube. It's not really a high climb.
Okay, well, please don't diminish my mother's achievements.
Right. Really good bit about Jiffy Lube.
But, since she was the manager at Jiffy Lube, naturally she can fix the ceiling fan.
She's just handy in general. If anyone's a fixer, it seems like it's really Mrs. Mac.
Right. But she thrives on sunlight, so she can't do it now. She'll do it tomorrow.
She seems like she's never been in sunlight.
And there's just a great, maybe they're killing time type scene where they start singing the Golden Girls theme while Mac is rummaging through the kitchen. Mm-hmm. And Charlie is making sure that his mom is not looking at him and is looking at Mrs. Mac instead.
Don't look at me. And if you threw a party, turn your head.
Right, she starts doing a dance, and Charlie, the whole scene, has been trying to have his mother engage with Mrs. Mac.
Right.
And it's funny that it's not just looking. See, she's looking at Charlie, and he specifically says, "Don't stare at me, stare at her."
Look at her!
Which is a funny way to reference it, because you shouldn't really stare at anyone.
Right.
You should be
Don't be weird over here. Be weird over there.
Exactly. Yeah. He's not even trying to fix the weirdness. He's just trying to direct it in a certain direction.
We could touch on the D being miseried. Really, the best part of this is how much enjoyment Frank and Dennis are getting out of it.
Where's she going? She's going to the concert.
She's walking.
Oh, she's going to bounce off. I've never seen anything. Oh, she's outside.
For me, well, yeah, I think that the one walk, the hallway walk of shame, I guess, is what they seem to really enjoy. But my enjoyment purely comes from Frank in a hoodie.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not something you see very often.
He looks so adorable in this giant hoodie. He's actually wearing it in the opening scene, and maybe throughout the episode. But the hood is down and it's unzipped. But then I guess when D...
Yeah, it's cold in there.
When D wakes up, they've poisoned her with, sleeping medication or cough syrup or something.
Quote, unquote, juice.
Yeah, cough syrup in juice. And then they open the window to, have her, develop pneumonia in a bedridden, a bug-ridden bed.
Right.
What else?
Bug-ridden bed. Bug-ridden bed.
Exactly.
There's a great reveal about Bonnie being OCD 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Which is a great running gag for the rest of the episode.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I love that Charlie just instantly picked it up because it was like, she does it because she doesn't want Charlie to die. Obviously. Totally
that line,
checks out.
When, I don't know if Mac or Charlie asks her, but when they're asking her about it, she just turns deadpan and very smiley and classic friendly Bonnie Kelly says,
Oh, so Charlie doesn't die.
and then continues up the stairs.
Charlie says he's just playing it safe.
Oh, just playing it safe. She's been doing it. I'm still alive. Can't be crazy. Yeah, no, that's very crazy. It does feel good to do stuff in threes.
Well, in his defense, I mean, his mom's been doing it, and he's not dead.
The next morning, they bring some coffee and bagels. Hopefully, continue the observation and encouragement and manipulation of their mothers. But it turns out they don't even really need to be there. 1, 2, 3.
Where the hell is my damn screwdriver?
I'm wiping all the germs off for you.
Yeah, because they've managed to bond and start conversing, and Mac and Charlie aren't exactly happy about the conversation topic, but at least they're talking.
Yeah, they're both a little anti-Muslim.
Yeah,
racist.
Little racist, which is sort of funny because it's one of those things, where, especially like in the Bonnie Kelly, where
1, 2, 3.
I don't know. I think most people have like a sweet old grandma that is actually a little racist, and you're like, damn, what?
Yeah.
What happened? You're like so nice and stuff, and now
1, 2, 3.
Just a little racist. That sucks.
But things are going so well, despite Bonnie having sensitive skin. Things are going so well that their idea is to now bring Poppins back in. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, they just want to not disrupt this moment, so they kind of just back out and go for the Poppins.
Dee is looking extremely rough.
What is going on with my face?
It's the bed bugs.
Real rough after that tumble and the bed bugs and the cough syrup and
Tied to the bed. There's just all kinds of great dialogue about the juice in this scene. Talk about the word pop being in there a million times. The word juice in this scene is said many, many times.
Oh, I think Papa's got into the juice.
What?
Oh, no.
What juice?
Oh, he's ice cold.
You think he's dead?
Yes, he's
Poppins is dead?
Well, why would he be dead from the juice?
We killed Poppins? Oh,
What's wrong
shit.
with the
Oh, my
juice?
God, Mac's gonna have a fit, dude.
I drank a
what are
lot
we
of that
gonna do?
juice. I remember that very clearly.
He's got a voracious appetite.
He's got a diverse palate. The prop they got for Poppins being dead is pretty good, and the way that Frank's holding it is very cute.
Yeah, this is Dennis's moment to fix the situation. So we cut to them in the alley behind the bar, where they are unceremoniously dropping Poppins off in a garbage can in the alley. Yep.
And what is one of my favorite images from this episode is Mac and Charlie both doing the 1, 2, 3 thing, getting real
do a 1, 2,
free,
3 spin,
getting real free with it.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Charlie, I think you're right, dude. I feel better about this. Yeah, more in control.
It does feel pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
It feels freeing, yeah. It feels like more of a dance move at that point. Like 1, 2, 3, spin.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, spin.
The ending of this episode is a little, I'm not going to say weak, but they're really just trying to finish it up really fast.
That tends to happen, yeah. Things accelerate, yeah.
And the speed of the last scene is just it's a little intense. But Poppins is obviously not dead. He's eating a diaper.
Fine.
Yeah, he's just sitting here chowing down on a diaper.
When Frank was carrying that dog out of the apartment, it was extremely motionless. God, what? I wrote down this line, but I don't know who said it. What are you going to do? Send him to the moon?
So you threw him in the trash?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Send him to the moon?
Right. I mean...
Right, Frank says that. Yeah, because
very funny line.
Yeah, Frank just kind of breaks down, and Dennis is trying to work his way out of it. Mac's like, what's in the trash? And I think Frank just admits that it's Poppins, and he says, why? He's dead. And then, Frank's like, well, what else? What are we going to do? He's dead.
Send him to the moon?
And it's a good thing they didn't send him to the moon, because he was
alive. Yeah. So we get a guest appearance by Artemis.
Right.
Voice only.
Yeah, she's really phoning this one in.
Okay, so how does she end this voicemail?
This is my only note from this scene, and I'm pretty sure she says, suck you later.
Okay, that's what I thought too. I thought maybe that was a little too risque for, a basic cable sitcom, but I think that is what she says.
Suck you later.
Once again, Artemis stealing the show, and this time not even on screen.
Yeah, while Caitlin Olsen is tied to a bed with crazy looking face and is screaming and thrashing and
writhing,
and Artemis steals it.
I do appreciate her Groban screams, but yeah, gotta give it to Artemis.
I guess it should be noted that Josh Groban does show up on this show later.
Yeah, I wonder if they had, they're all like, I guess, semi-famous at this point. So,
right.
I wonder if they were like friends or they ran into him or in like Hollywood or if he just like saw the show and was like,
I think Groban is like a comedy guy.
Oh, okay.
So I think I could see him being a fan of the show. Anyways, okay. Will, what do you think of this episode? Do you have a letter grade? 1, 2, 3.
I was thinking about this. It's so hard because, like, when I think of the individual lines, I think positive thoughts. But there are a lot of moments, like the summit was kind of draggy, and I don't know, the opening scene, it like worked logistically, but there weren't a lot of like fun zingers. So I'm gonna give it a B+.
In a rare turn of events, I'm going to give the same grade as you did. B+. Yeah, it's like the Charles Grodin, Josh Groban mix-up is amazing and is probably 30% of my grade. But yeah, I mean, again, it's in the shadow of so many amazing episodes in this season and the next that giving it anything above that would be maybe a little dishonest. Join us next episode for Who Got D Pregnant. So we'll see you then. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, it's been great. Thanks. Like and review and subscribe.
You would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.
I'm going to stop my recording.
Brought to you by the Natty and Noon Network.